You're watching Pyro Media Network. Hello, Pyro Media family. Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience with us is fruitful. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. And we do hope you consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
Hey y'all, hello, happy Wednesday. Welcome to She is Shenomenal. I am your host, Tasha Champion, the Shenomenal Coach of Champion Empowerment. Always teaching you to love the champion you are. And it is the last day of Tasha-wary. You guys know this is my month. I absolutely love January, except the cold, but I celebrate the entire month and just celebrated my birthday and also just celebrated 8 years cancer-free. So before I talk about that, I just want to let you guys know, if you are an entrepreneur, if you have friends or family that are entrepreneurs, or you're thinking about starting a business, go ahead and grab those people, send them the link and have them watch live and pop your questions in if you have them, because I have two bosses. Okay, I have two boss ladies that's coming on tonight. You guys will absolutely love them. They are loving and no nonsense. They have gathered me a couple of times, but they're wonderful. LaKeysha Hayes is a behavioral strategist, coach and consultant, and Lavonne is the CEO of Management Consultants and an accountability partner. I love that word. So they're going to be here live, and I can't wait because there are quite a few questions that I want to ask them. And ultimately, we want to give you, I'm saying we, hold on, let me back up. They are going to give you guidance on really how to become the true CEO of your business, because you might be confused. Having a business is not as easy as it seems to be. So before I bring them on, listen, my birthday, y'all, was really amazing. As you know, Saturday was my 8th survivorversary, so 8 years breast cancer free. And then January 28th, Sunday, was my birthday, and I did something absolutely amazing. So this right now is going to be my Shenomenal moment. I'm celebrating me for the Shenomenal moment. I cannot wait for you guys to see what I did.
Love my life. I 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 love my life. None of we don't know where tomorrow might bring, cause the future, the hours away. So me, I live my life today. For me, I live my life today. Yeah, so love it.
Okay. So I went skydiving, as you can see. Listen, this was something that really just kind of popped up in my spirit a couple of months ago. And I was like, why do I need to go skydiving? But it was a spiritual thing. And it was about being free out there in the middle of the sky, right? But it was also just kind of symbolic to understanding that the freedom I felt in that moment is the same freedom I need to feel on land. And the same way I went after that goal of just being out there in the open is the same thing that I need to do here on land. So if there's something that you want to accomplish, by all means, go after it. Some people have been like, oh my God, you did that. Should I do it? Yes. Book your appointment. Go jump out of a plane. It's amazing. Tandem. Okay. Y'all saw I was strapped to someone. So do a tandem because you're not experienced, but it was an amazing feeling. And I'm so glad that I did it. Will I do it again? Yes, it was just that great. I would do it again. And before we go to commercial break and I bring on my guest, hey, Teresa, thanks for joining. I want to mention that I am still raising money for the 6th annual Phenomenal Queen Symposium. This is an event for 120 11th and 12th grade girls here in the high desert. It is, most of them will be Black and brown girls, and I am honored to be their keynote speaker this year. And I am looking for donations so that we can raise enough money to gift each young lady with a book. So please support. And you can do Cash App to Champ TCE, or you can do tinyurl.com/Shenomenal donation. All of the donations go directly to purchasing a book for these young ladies. I appreciate in advance your love and support, because we all know that Shenomenal young girls grow into Shenomenal women. So we want them reading this book and having the tools to help them along the way. All right. Okay. So we're going to go and take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, I'm really ready to interview these ladies, because what I wanted to do at the beginning of this year is really begin to build tools so that you guys have things in your toolbox that you can use going forward and making this really your best year yet. So we talked about like having a drama-free 2024. We talked about pinky moves and how you can take very small steps to have big wins and reaching your goals. And now today we're going to talk about that entrepreneurial life, right? You want to see some growth? The strategies that these ladies will talk about is going to help you achieve that. So stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Know that you can now catch the electrifying sounds of Bullet and Flight Radio anywhere you go? Yes, you heard it right. Tune in to the high-flying beats and soaring melodies by downloading the TuneIn app on your mobile device. Just search for Bullet and Flight Radio and hit play. It's that easy. And if you have a smart device like Alexa or Google, just say, "Hey Google," or "Alexa, play Bullet and Flight Radio on TuneIn." Experience the rush of adrenaline wherever you are. Listen to Bullet and Flight Radio on TuneIn using your Alexa or Google devices. Soaring through the skies has never sounded this good. Don't miss out on the ultimate musical journey. Tune in now to Bullet and Flight Radio on TuneIn and let the music take you on an unforgettable ride. Get ready to elevate your listening experience. Brought to you by Bullet and Flight Radio.
So welcome back. I am so proud and happy to introduce these two Boss True CEOs, LaKeysha Cobbs-Hayes and Lavonne Shields.
Wasn't ready.
Hello. She wasn't ready.
Well, listen, on this end, you look ready. So we just going to go with it. How are you guys tonight?
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm good. I just
Yes,
got
I'm
back
really
from
happy.
like 3 different trips, so I'm great.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
That year off really well.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I'm really excited and happy to have you guys on the show. Lavonne, I've known for years, and LaKeysha, I met through Lavonne, and I had the fortunate opportunity to attend LaKeysha's leadership masterclass. And oh, Lord, y'all, she didn't pick on me, but I felt picked on because she was bringing up a lot. And then, Lavonne would come in and say some things, and I'm like, they're giving me way too much to think about. But I knew then that I wanted to have them on this show so we could just really talk about like business strategies to help grow your business this year. And so I'm going to give you guys a minute or so to introduce yourself, and pretty much, and then we'll go into how you landed here. So LaKeysha, I'll start with you. You just do an introduction of yourself.
Hello, I'm LaKeysha Cobbs Hayes, founder and CEO of Key Essentials to Behavior Management, where we provide ABA services to children and adults with disabilities. We have about 5 clinics across the Inland Empire and service a little over 200 families with about 80 employees. In addition to that, I'm also founder and CEO of Strategic Behavior Consultants, where we coach business owners and teaching them how to work on their business instead of in their business.
Yes, I love that. And I also just want to acknowledge, I think it's always important when we have Black-owned businesses that have employment opportunities for other people. So you having 80 employees is amazing because you are helping other families as well to have income in their homes, especially this time of year. Miss Lavonne.
Hi, Lavonne Shields. I am the accountability coach and accounting strategist. I work with micro and small businesses, helping them to understand how to translate what they do in their business to numbers so that they can speak the language of business, which is accounting, and so that they can build, lead, and grow their businesses and serve their purpose.
Wow. I love that. And it's so funny because I've known you for years and I've always known that you love accounting, but it wasn't until like recently where I found out like, oh, you do way more than just crunching numbers for businesses. Like you're really helping people. And she does a lot of workshops, leads a lot of workshops for the Inland Empire Women Business Center. So let's make sure you're getting all your goods. Don't be selling yourself short. Let people know what you're doing. So, okay. So just starting, Lavonne, I'll just start with you. What made you decide on entrepreneurship versus employment?
Oh, I'm a crappy employee. I'm horrible at it.
That was easy.
That's the bottom line. It was the whole, so you want me to be here every day at this time, even though I finished my workload and I have young kids at home who I wanted to be there for. And it was just really, really simple for me to say, okay, let's take this thing that you know how to do, the passion that you love that I have for working with other business owners and what I've been doing. And it was, let's just do it. So that was pretty much the short and curlies of it. The bottom line of it was I knew that I did not do well in the traditional or even non-traditional corporate environment. It was, you're gonna do it your way, and I'm spoiled, and so that's what I wanted to do.
I love that. And we're going to come back to that because I think a lot of people always like to say, I don't want to work for nobody. I don't want to work for nobody. But I don't think a lot of people really understand what that truly means. No. Because although you don't want to work for somebody, when you're an entrepreneur, you're working for people.
For somebody.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes. What about you? How did you get into this entrepreneurial game versus employment?
Oh, I mean, I think it's the same. I'm a little hard-headed. And I've been told in numerous jobs that you don't listen, you don't follow, you don't want to follow the direction. And I was like, well, I mean, I think there's an easier way to do this. I don't understand why you're not listening to me. Uh, so, I mean, I got into it. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I think what ended up having a turning point for me is when I went to HR, and HR had a parent who basically told me, well, the parent didn't say anything. My boss told me. That was like, oh, the parent is not happy with services. And I was like, that's really interesting. I just spoke to mom, and they were just like, yeah, she just said you look, really angry and you didn't smile enough. And I was just like, okay. I didn't know smiling was required to do my job. And I already have RBF. It doesn't matter. I can have on a ton of makeup and I still have RBF. It just is what it is.
It is what it
And
is.
that particular day, I had my hair back. And I was like, okay, no problem. So I do my due diligence. I go talk to the parent and say, hey, I heard that there was some issues. I'm real sorry about any confusion. Is there anything that I can help you with? And she was like, no, you look okay today. Like you combed your hair.
Oh,
I'm sorry, what?
wow.
So yeah, the long and the short of it is I did not want other people to be treated like I was treated, and I wanted them to have a place where they can come and be their authentic self without feeling judged. And that is one of the things that I pride myself on, especially with Key Essentials, is making sure that you're able to come to work and be who you are, and show up as your authentic self. And that was very important to me, that people that look like me are able to come to work and still grow and do their job to the best of their ability without being judged for their character or their color or, sex or whatever the case may be.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. You deal a lot with behavior, and just being in your master class, there was a lot that I was learning, just in leadership, how you behave. But even before we start there, let's start with true CEO. What does true CEO mean? And then we're going to begin to break down, what do you need to do to become a true CEO this year?
Oh my goodness. Lavonne? No, just play. All right. So I came up with the word true CEO because I was actually, over the course of the pandemic, people were like, oh my God, just go do it. Get this job. You can be a coach. You can do this, and one time I was talking to a coach, for, I think, courses and whatnot. And we were having a conversation and we were going back and forth, and I was saying, okay, well, what about this? And what about this? And she was just like, oh, you're like a true CEO. And I was just like, I wonder, what does that even mean? But I think what ends up happening is you have this entrepreneurial life, and then you also have business ownership. And those two things you hear synonymously in the same sentence all the time. And you really don't really understand that being an entrepreneur is almost like your starting point. But once you actually transition from working in your business to working on your business and able to kind of remove yourself, you're kind of moving out of that entrepreneurial space and into business ownership, because now you're managing other people. You're focused on growth. You're not in the day-to-day. You're not in the weeds. That's what a lot of people, that's where they are. And so when we talk about true CEO, it's really pinpointing that your transition from working in your business 100%, 90% to working on your business, looking at your big goals, looking at where you want to go. You're paying attention to your numbers. You're hiring for things that you need. You're able to delegate, right? There's 50 million things that you need to do on a day-to-day basis, but when you're stuck in that entrepreneurial space, you are the person that does all of the things. And that's the part where true CEO comes into play. Is I'm not, it doesn't have anything to do with income. It has everything to do with how much are you working in your business.
Wow. I love that. So, Lavonne, I'm going to switch it to you in understanding that definition. When did you realize you were moving from entrepreneurship to, I got to be full on CEO, boss lady Lavonne?
I don't even think it kind of just happened. I don't even know where it really, as I was doing coaching, as you had mentioned before, I work with the Inland Empire Women's Business Center, and in working with the women coming through those programs, I think that was when it was the huge aha for me, because as I'm coaching them and I'm talking to them about, hey, you're playing, you're looking at this game of business play by play. I need you to look at it 50,000 feet above, and we need to look at this from above and not be in the game. You got to coach it. You got to be the person who's looking at it from the field, so you can see all the things that are moving. And you can't do that if you're on the field, if you're in the game. You cannot see the forest for the trees when you're wrapped in it. And that was really, just that was the aha. It was like, oh yeah, we can't be in it and then try to go up here, and it's a learning process. It's a curve. You got to work your way up. You got to be on the ground, boots on the ground, see how things are going, come up, look above, and make sure that it's working out. And then as you start to build your systems underneath it, then you stop going down all the way down to the bottom floor. You keep staying up higher. So 50,000 feet, you come back to the ground. 50,000 feet, then you come down maybe to 10,000. Come down to 20, come down to 30, to the point where you're able to see it at that higher level. But it really, for me, and my aspect of it, from looking at the numbers, is become using your numbers as your scorecard to let you know, am I really playing this game, or am I just here? Kind of thing. Am I just here, or am I playing?
And I know when I started working with Lavonne, because I met her through the Women's Business Center, one of the things that she said to me, she was like, okay, so you just out here just flying this plane. You don't have any processes. Now she was like, it's all in your head. Keisha, like, the people that work for you have to know what to do for you. You do realize that. And I was just, when I first started, I was like, no, I didn't realize that, because I had to do all of the things. I didn't realize that I needed to call on these other individuals that I was employing to do the work that needed to be done behind the scenes. I thought it was, it was all on me. This is my business. Like, how can I ask someone to go out there and work just as hard as me and not get the same rewards? But so it's a mindset shift also that you have to have.
Huge mindset shift. Huge.
Yeah, you are not lying, because I remember I think LaKeysha was the one that mentioned that to me, and I was like, let me just put on some shades and a hat and just sit back and hide. Right? I'm telling you, like, being in her masterclass is really opening my eyes to so much, just kind of bouncing off of her and Lavonne. It was opening my eyes to, like, a lot of my blind spots where I was like, oh, I didn't even know I need to do this. I didn't know I need to do that. So I like the analogy that you give, that you got to really be up here looking down and starting somewhere. So, and now we've explained what a CEO is versus just a business owner, an entrepreneur, what you need to do. Let's begin to give steps and strategies. So starting at ground level, and you guys can decide who wants to take this, but starting at ground level, what is that first step that you need to do to start putting yourself on the track of a CEO and growing your business to operate as a CEO?
Keisha's gonna hate this answer, because you gotta do a business plan. You got to get it out of your head, because when it's in here, your brain is trying to do 50 million things. It's trying to remember to breathe. Did I have on the same shoes? Where are the kids? Where are my keys? What's going on? Did I eat today? Do I have to go to the bathroom? Your brain is trying to do all those things, and then you also want it to build and grow a business for you all at the same time. No, that's not even fair. It's not even fair. So once you get it out of your head and you get it in front of you, then you're able to see your pathway. You're able to understand, how do you go from maybe having a hobby that's profitable to a business that's actually generating some income, to I need systems and processes, and grow from there. But for me, I've always told people, you got to get it out of your head so you can get clear on what it is. Problem is that people make the assumption that a business plan needs to be some big dissertation that they have to write and defend, and it's not. It's not even that complicated. It's just, do you know what it is that you're offering? Do you know who it is you're offering it to? Do you have a timeline for which it is that you're going to be working these things out? Do you understand who are the people who are going to be in your business, or the systems and processes, the softwares, the things that are going to be a part of your business, so that you can now see if this is actually working past the hobby phase, past the, oh yeah, I know how to generate income phase. Do I know how to duplicate this process and keep it going and then build on that? And so for me, I tell people, you got to get it out of your head in some form of simplified business plan, just so you have a checks and balance to let you know that you're on course and you know how to course correct as you go.
And the reason why she says that I hate when she says that is because I hate it. I do. And I think what it is that I do is not necessarily, I wouldn't call it a business plan per se, but it's a business plan. You know, I'll give Lavonne her kudos. I'll give her kudos. It is a business plan. However, what I found being in the midst of building a business is you don't always know. Like, I don't know. Like, if you're asking me, okay, well, Keisha, sit down and let's talk about vision, traction, organization, and let's go through, you know, your 5 core values. Well, where am I supposed to pull this from? Are these my core values, or is this, you know, where I think my client's core values is, right? So now you're overthinking everything. So then to be able to put it down on paper is just kind of like, okay, well, what paper am I putting it on? Am I putting it in pencil, or am I putting it in pen? And so the frustration then comes. So when you talk about getting a business plan, you really need to sit down with someone who can organize that for you and say, okay, we're going to take this step by step.
Yeah, you got to be in a position where you can throw it up. You got to throw it up and allow someone to go through to help you filter it out, because you know what you know. Like, if you're someone who is a cook and wants to open up a restaurant, you know how to cook. If you're someone who knows how to, you know, who's a doctor or a therapist or anything, if you know how to do that voodoo that you do, the difference is that there's these things that are around it that we're not taught that. Our traditional educational system does not teach business ownership. It does not teach entrepreneurship. You got to find these pockets of education, which is so funny, because if you think back to a long time ago, these small towns, these little villages were based off of everyone contributing something to it. So you were the blacksmith, you were the one doctor, you were the one restaurant, the general store, and the people who were the outliers were the ones who came rolling in like, hey, what's up? You're like, hey, bro, you got to add something to the pot right here. You don't, you ain't really contributing.
So showing up in here.
Yeah. So we got away from that when we were teaching our community, our students, to go get a job. Yeah. And nothing wrong with that. It's just that, but for those who have a passion, who have a drive, who want to do more than what this box of a job can put you in, we don't teach that. So yeah, it's finding someone who can help you filter through your idea, create a structure around it so that you can constantly keep testing it, because it's all a hypothesis. Life, business, everything is all a hypothesis. I want to sell this product to these people or this service at these people for this amount of money, and I need to do it this many times. Right. All right, let's try it. Let's see what's the worst that's going to happen. As long as you don't die.
And that's the part. And as long as you don't die, that's the number one. Don't die.
Don't die.
But I mean, that's the part where I think entrepreneurship gets complicated, because I know exactly how to do what it is that I'm doing, right? And I do this on a regular basis. I know how to move. I know when to move. The problem is I cannot compartmentalize it enough. And somebody saying get a business plan. First of all, I don't even like writing. You know, I graduated with straight D's from high school. Not to say that I don't have a master's degree now, but like, that's intimidating to me. I don't even want to do that. But if you have somebody that's sitting with you and saying, hey, tell me how you do this, and when do you do this, and how many people, and you start to get into the what ifs. So if you were to have 10 people to buy your product, what does that look like? Now we're talking about a business plan, and you don't really know we're talking about a business plan. Right.
Do you feel like too many people they go, okay, I got a great idea, and now I have a business. Do you feel like too many
Oh,
people are
absolutely.
Oh
doing?
yeah, 100%. 100%.
Absolutely.
There are so many people who do business and not are not in business because it's like, oh, I
They
know.
just standing on business. That's, just staying
Right.
on business. That's everything right
Yeah,
now.
or even
That
that
is the
of
best
the
and the worst statement ever. I just want to put
right.
that out there.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're right. It's crazy. It becomes that part again because you forget that there's a whole thing that
Yeah.
goes around it. When you go to a restaurant, it's not just the food that comes on your plate. There's a whole system and process. When you walk in, what happens? When the food gets when you place your order, what's that process? When you
Right.
leave, what's that
Mhm.
process? All of these things go in, but people don't take that into consideration, and then they get intimidated if they don't know it. There's so
Yeah.
many women that I've
And then
coached
they
where
get
they're like, I
offended.
yeah, or yeah, they either get offended or they start beating themselves up like, why didn't I know this? I don't know. What did you know how to walk when you were first born, or did you actually go like the rest of us and figure it out as you went? Right. Again, we're not taught these things, so it's important to know that it's a learning curve. It's a constant. You just have to be ready, and willing to actually go through it and be okay with the fact that you're gonna stumble, you're gonna fall, you're gonna
Yeah.
be frustrated, you're gonna be angry, you're gonna be like, why am I doing this? I quit. I used to quit all the time until I realized where you gonna go. Where you going?
Right.
Right. I mean, before we go to commercial break, I honestly thought like it was like, okay, well, I want a life coach. This is what I love to do. I love absolutely helping people and inspiring and empowering them to move forward. And so I just was
Mhm.
like, oh, cool. Social media. Let me just put a post out there. I'm a life coach, and then I should be a millionaire tomorrow. That did not
No,
happen.
that movie lied to everybody. If you
It
build it, they will
did.
not come. As lies.
Nobody called, nobody, like, and there's no writing a big ad in the yellow pages anymore. Everything is just so
Yeah.
She said
different.
the
But
yellow
the
pages.
yellow pages, oh, I just dated myself.
Why
Yeah,
you
the
date
yellow pages.
yourself?
But I do think that people
I
think
know
as long
not
as
of
they
what you
have a
speak.
good idea, it lands in the lap, and now you're going to be okay. Because I was that person, like you said, you don't know something, and then you're hard on yourself, and you're shame, and you're embarrassed, and you feel
Hmm.
guilty because you didn't know something. Like you said, you didn't come here knowing how to walk,
Yeah.
and
And you
that's
try to
where
do
I
it all by
failed.
yourself, and you don't
That part,
realize that there are resources designed to help you
Yeah.
win.
yes, and that's
SBA
what I did
has
wrong.
all the programs like the Women's Business Center, Small Business Development Center, SCORE. They have all these programs that are designed to help you win, and no one knows about it, or they don't
Yeah.
believe that it's true. And it's like, I'm telling you, I literally am in this space. We are looking to be able to support you. There are funding, there's support, there's that there. It's just the reality and being realistic about it, and then coming together and really understanding what is it that you're looking to do. Now we figure out how we can do it.
And not only that, LegalZoom. If you set up your entity through LegalZoom, they're gonna give you support. Like they give you support in every step of the way. And I think that's why, as far as the strategic behavior consultants are concerned, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to start that, is to say, how strategic are you being? Right? What's step one? What's step two? What's step three? And
Mhm.
if you don't know step one, step two, step three, let's go ahead and sit down and start figuring out what those different steps are, because that's just that all of what I just spoke about right now is just one step. We haven't even got your mindset right. We haven't even talked about where you are as a person and what you believe about yourself and what you hold true for your own identity.
And your
We haven't
circle
talked about
around you.
any
We
of
haven't
that.
talked about your circle. We haven't talked about none of the things
Yeah.
that are come across in this whole journey of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about you need to create a business plan, everything that's going on up in here. Let me just say, Lavonne, you released a lot of like my thought, like where are the keys? What time do I need to pick up so and so from school, from work? I need to go to
Mhm.
the grocery store. I need to do this. I need to do that. And then all the tabs are open on my laptop, and I don't have, well, I'm not even active on one of them, but it's a
Like,
million
where's
tabs
the
open.
sound coming from? And this was
Right,
frozen.
exactly. Now I hear I just got a new puppy down here and a puppy crying. And I'm like, what is that noise? Oh yeah, I just got a new puppy. So yeah, it's so many things at one time. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and then I want to move into what is that next strategy. You're at the business plan, and then great down to earth, honest conversation. Thank you, Teresa. So you're at the business plan. what do you need to do next? And I want to, if you guys don't, I'm sure y'all have an answer, but I want to make sure we do talk about that mindset piece, because I know without mindset ain't nothing happening. So let's take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back with LaKeysha Cobbs Hayes and Lavonne Shields.
Because self-care should be luxurious. Luxe Noir.
All right, we are back, and we are working towards taking you guys from just thinking you're a business owner or you want to be an entrepreneur, and really giving you the tools and strategies on what do you need to do to be a true CEO. You want to be a boss, you got to do what bosses really do. Don't play about it, you got to really be about it. So Lavonne talked about having that business plan. You got to get all this stuff out of your hand, and a business plan does not have to be some long, exhaustive dissertation. So now we're going to move into step 2 with this strategy of moving into that CEO spot. What is the next thing that someone needs to do this year to get themselves to a CEO status?
I believe it's just, it's really mindset, knowing what you can do and what you can't do, and being able to delegate what you can't and playing to your strengths. I think a lot of people try to be everything because they're seeing the money come in and they're like, oh, well, the money's here, and so I can't afford to, build up my company. And the problem is you can't afford not to. Like, you literally cannot afford not to. And so I think you need to figure out what your hangups are, and what's going to stop you. What are those barriers in place that's going to stop you from getting to that next level? Because that is what hinders a lot of people. Like, it's the business plan of the what to do, but now it's kind of like, do I believe that I can actually do that thing? Mm-hmm. And if I believe that I can do that thing, then what does that look like? And then once you get to that level, you're not self-sabotaging. So, like, for me, I walked into Lavonne's office and I was like, hey, I think I stumbled on like $1 million business. And she was like, I'm sorry, excuse me?
Yeah, like, you gotta run that back.
What does that even mean?
I need to know what size shoe you wear.
And that was my thought. I was like, dang, I didn't know. I knew what I had, but I knew what I had on paper, not actually tangible. I knew that it was going to get here because I talked about it. I manifested it. I put it into place. I know the numbers backwards and forwards because I was saying them over and over and over again. And I think just trying to convince myself that it was real. And then all of a sudden, a year later, I'm coming back to Lavonne and like, hey, so I didn't just make $1 million. I made like 1.3. Like, can you believe that? And she's just like, can you? Can you believe it? Like, this don't even have nothing to do with me. Can you believe it? Like, where are you? And she was like, you know what? I'll be there. Like,
like, I'm on my way. Give me a minute. I'll be. Let's take a minute.
I'll show up. Right. But that second year, I had to do so much work. I didn't feel like I was enough. I had imposter syndrome. Like it's still sometimes. She'd be like,
yeah, we laugh all the time. I'd be like, are we about to talk about something that you manifested, that you said you wanted to have happen and you actually worked for it and now it's here? Is that what we're about to do? I just want to know.
Right. And then it brings me back to where I am, but I mean, it stems around my identity. Who am I as a person, right? I'm a person who graduated with straight D's from high school. I'm a person who had 6 kids before I was freaking 30, right? I'm a person who went back to school at 30 something years old. I did not think at all, right? I'm a foster child. What, like, all of these things that make up who you are as a person gets in the way, and then coming back, and then it's like, who do you think you are? Who do
Which
you
is
think?
why your circle is so important. So important. I know when we moved out here and I from LA to Inland Empire and I was launching my business, I went to this networking event and the presenter training, and the presenter said, yeah, and I'm president of the National Association of Women Business Owners Inland Empire chapter. I was like, first of all, you mean there's a place for my people? Like there's a whole place. Like how did I not know that there's a place where I go? And so now you're in a space where there are people, especially if you're talking about women entrepreneurs and specifically, because it's hard especially for us. We wear so many hats. We do so many different things, and it's real different for us than it is for men out there. And it just bottom line it. So to have people who will look at you and go, girl, don't worry, you wearing 2 different shoes. It's okay. We're going to turn that into a trend. Just get out there and make it happen. It's all right. I know you got a little snot on your thing. We're going to put your jacket on. We're going to cover it up. We're going to fix your car. We're going to keep it pushing. We're going to ask questions. We're going to talk about it. We're going to do it all in 90 minutes and get it all situated and get you pushing. But if you don't have the right circle, you'll have the people who, like your friends and family, they love you. And when you launch your business, they are excited for you. But the moment you have to step out because you're on a call, or you miss girls' night because you need to go do X, Y, and Z, or you're doing all this, all of a sudden it's like, well, who do you think you are? Well, I'm the same one who you was all excited about before, but you're not on this journey, so you don't get it. And so if you allow that to be the thing, like, oh, I need to be here for that, oh, I'm going to miss that, and you don't have someone telling you it's okay. Or even on the vice versa, where on another angle where you're like, man, I done fed my kids pizza every day this week. Sweetie, they ate. They ate. Didn't nobody die.
They're not hungry.
Right.
They're not hungry.
It happens, right? And so when you have the right circle around you, when you go through your highs and lows, you have those people who are helping you go through those highs and lows. They are celebrating you at your high. They're picking you up when you're at your low. So that's a big part of adding that to the mindset, because you go into it and you finally get someone who can help you. Yeah, no, you are the smart person. You are the right person to do this. You do have the skill sets. And then you need other people to help you reinforce that, and as well as teach you. Well, did you know about this? And did you hear about this? Well, are you doing that? It changes the conversation. And then now you are empowered internally to just, wow, I got it. I'm around the people who can help keep pushing. So that's really important. It's
so your network
too. So you have that mindset, you have the business plan, you have your mindset, and then you also have to make sure you have that right tribe around you. Because the other thing too is your family and friends are not going to get you to the income level that you want to get to. They're just not. They're going to be your supporting cast, but they're not going to get you there. So you have to find your tribe of entrepreneurs or business coaches, business those that do business who know more than you. Who know more than you. You cannot be, I always say you cannot be the smartest person in the room. You got to get around somebody who knows more than you.
I mean, you can be the smartest person in the room. I don't know how well that's gonna work out for you in the long run. You know, you just got a whole girl fan rolling around here. But yes.
So business plan, mindset, tribe. Give me one more before I go into another phase of this. Give me one more strategy that people need to have in place as they build to that true CEO boss.
You need a mentor.
That part.
You need a mentor. You need a mentor not only. So Lavonne was talking about your network, right? And these can be your networking groups. It can be all of the different people out there. These are places where you go to get fed and have conversation, but you need somebody to tell you when you messing up. You need somebody to tell you, hey, get yourself back in line. No, thank you. No, we're not doing that in 2024. No, no, thank you. So try it again. Come back. Put your big girl panties on. Put your hat on. Put that CEO role, and we're gonna get back out there and do it. And here's your goals for this year. And so if you don't have a mentor, you don't have a coach, and you need a coach in different areas, right?
Yes.
So we talked about getting around people, but we didn't talk about your therapist. Therapist is your coach, right?
Yes.
You need a business coach. You need about 3 to 4 different people that's going to keep you in line to make sure that they can bring you back down to earth, and then also pick you up and tell you like, hey, you're okay. And I think that, really makes a huge difference in where you need to go as a business owner. And if you don't have those 3 different people, your therapist, your business coach, and then just a personal life coach, then, you need to go find you some.
And then in addition to that, it's having a mentor and then being able and willing to mentor somebody else.
Yes.
You learn as a student all the time. And so but you also learn as a teacher. When you take what you have learned and what you've implemented, and then you're able to look at somebody else and go, oh, yeah, I just realized that's what I knew. Oh, hey. But it's a full circle thing. You go get fed, and then you eat, and then you go feed somebody else.
Absolutely.
And that's how it goes. You got to be in that constant circle all the time. And people might be like, wow, this sounds like a whole lot of stuff. It's like, but if you live, life is a lot of stuff.
Yes.
It's, you got to wash, you got to clean the house, you got to do all these things. You already doing a whole lot of stuff. Now let's just be real intentional about what it is that you're doing, and making sure that you're doing it with the objective of reaching a goal.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So business plan, mindset, your tribe that knows more than you. And then you need your set of mentors. Even if you have to start with one, you're going to have to begin to put those right people in place. Now, I'm going to jump way ahead because, of course, this hour always goes by like super fast, especially when the conversation is good. Because I know for me, a lot of things would just kind of really shut me down when I would always look at what do I have to pay to have these mentors? What do I have to pay to be in the presence of someone who knows more than me? So a couple of things. I want you guys to talk about those free and low cost mentors and how to access them. And then LaKeysha, I just want to, give you a shout out because what me coming into your presence is always probably about a 4 or 5 figure set of information. And you do some really super, like your teenager can afford it. You do some super low cost leadership and business classes that give massive information. Yes. I mean, tons of information. So can you guys just talk about some of those resources that people can reach out to when they don't have 6 figures to give a coach?
To start with, you got YouTube University. There's people out there who got something to say and got something that got information. Because no matter who it is that you get your information from, you have to filter through it. You gotta disregard what does not apply to you and does not resonate with you, and you gotta hold tight to what does resonate with you and that you can add on to. So to be a sponge and find places where you can get it. So if you're talking about a book, YouTube University, you got that. And then, from what I can add to that conversation, before Keisha gives up some more resources, is understand the Small Business Administration. It does have resources to support you. If you just go to sba.gov and they will point you in the direction of a resource that's near you that will help you out. And from there, that's where it's a whole nother, spider web of places where you can go from there. But it's really just about, once you decide though that you want that information, all of a sudden your social media feed changes. All of a sudden, the conversations that you're picking up on when you're out, all that changes. But once you make the decision that you want that information, it will find you. Trust me.
Right.
And there are so many ways to get it at low cost and no cost until you get to that point where you're able to literally invest in you as you grow.
Yes. I like the book Who Not How. I love that book. Who Not How, right? Because we were trained to ask who can help me, right? You're stubbed your toe, who do you go talk to? Like that was ingrained in us. And we need to change it to how. I mean, yeah.
Just
Who?
around, you're right.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Who can help?
we are so good at figuring it out ourselves. Like, I'm
How?
gonna figure this out. I'm gonna figure this out.
Right? Sorry.
Yeah.
The how part. But we need to start finding some who's that are going to help us get to that next level. That's a really good one. And, thank you so much, Tasha. One of the reasons why I do give out those free and darn near free training programs is because it's part of my mission. And my mission is to empower, 1 million people to live their life the way that they want to live it and be financially free. And if I have been able to do it, then I try to make sure that I at least am giving back to the community. So we normally do a leadership group meeting on Tuesdays. And we go through different books, different tools on how to grow as a leader, how to grow in your purpose, how to grow in business. It usually ends up being a whole lot of issues and growing, and we will challenge you, so show up.
Yes, I have my sunglasses around right now. I put them on because she ain't lying when she say we will challenge you. Yes, and then don't let them tag team you. Lord Jesus.
Me? Yeah. I just be there as a form of support. I'm just there to show.
And then
you throw your dollars in, not your 2 cents. You throw your dollars in.
And then we have a new thing that we're doing once a month for the next 6 months, which is we're doing a day of strategic planning. So if you need to come in and get your business plan together and get your information, and you just need somebody to kind of bounce information off of, we're doing that. That class is about $49.99. It's actually real low, as Tasha said. And people ask me all the time, why is this so low? You're there for like 4 hours. I am. So we have that. And then if you are a business owner and you're looking to transition from working in your business to on your business, we have the True CEO program. You can go to trueCEOlife.com and you can sign up there. Our program there is kind of all encompassing, which is really cool. So we have Lavonne, who's an accountant, and then we also have Sonia, who's an HR, and then you have marketing, and then you have me, your CEO coach, and we rotate throughout the month where we come in and we spend 1 hour and we just answer your questions. And we're there to support you. And then also, if you sign up, then you'll also get the one-on-one where you'll be able to meet with a specialist at least 1 hour out of the month. And that is for us to, one, build you up as a CEO so where you can get out of that, solopreneurship and into business ownership.
I love it. Y'all have dropped a lot of nuggets. I definitely am going to have y'all back because, of course, as we're talking, 10 million questions get to popping up in my head. And there's so many people that's on this path, and you have people that they have a lot of gifts and talents. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of ideas, and they have no idea how to put those things together and say, okay, can I take this and have a business? And I want to be able to talk about that. So I definitely have to have you guys back so that we can talk about that and go deeper. And maybe, I'll have some guests that want to ask you guys some questions because we want people to move into their true CEO power, including myself this year. So I love that. And I appreciate you guys. So really quick before we jump off, because we're down to the last few minutes, Lavonne, starting with you, tell people how they can connect with you.
Okay. So social media platforms, you can connect with me at The Accounting Strategist. And then my website is theaccountingstrategist.com. So you can find out the programs that I offer. I have a accountability lab, which is designed for those who are afraid of numbers, but they need the support, but they're not quite sure if they can afford it. It's like a study hall. It's an opportunity for you to ask questions, get to know your numbers, figure out your business, and really be able to move forward. So theaccountingstrategist.com. And like I said, across all platforms as The Accounting Strategist.
Wonderful. Miss LaKeysha.
Hello. So you can find us for True CEO at trueCEOlife.com, and where you can sign up for our accelerator program, or you can contact me at strategic_behavior for Instagram. Look, what else is there?
Facebook.
You got Facebook. Facebook is kind of iffy. So you got LaKeysha Cobbs Hayes. You can find me LaKeysha Cobbs Hayes on anything. I mean, depending on what you like about me, you may or may not, want to be my friend, but you are more than welcome to follow.
Yeah, if you look up Lavonne Shields, you might find something interesting. You might find something a little questionable.
I am me 110% of the time. So come follow us. Definitely come check us out if you want to, email us or message us, and we look forward to talking to you.
Yeah.
And you guys remember, they're in the Inland Empire area. So I know a lot of times everything is like always the, Los Angeles, but they are in the Inland Empire area, and they offer just a ton of information and resources. So if you are looking to become the true CEO of your business this year, these are the two you want to follow. And again, LaKeysha offers amazing courses for literally the same thing that you would pay for coffee every day at Starbucks, actually less than that. So you want to make sure you connect with her. Lavonne is available through the Inland Empire Women Business Center. That's a free resource. So make sure you attach yourselves to the people and the resources that are going to help you reach your true CEO status. So ladies, thank you for being incredible Shenomenal business women. I appreciate you guys being here today. And for everybody else, oh, absolutely. Got to have y'all back. I'm not lying about that. Yeah. For everybody else, have a beautiful Shenomenal week, and I'll see you guys next week. Let me get ready to go celebrate my son's 21st birthday. Y'all have a powerful
Thank you for watching Pyro Media Network. For more information, please visit pyromedianetwork.com.